Okay, we're in the middle of the sugya of tzrairis. We're up to Yudches Amid Beis, where when lines get wide, above that, about 5-6 lines up, Gufa at the end of the line. Now he has a shiloh over here. Boy, Rav has the following shiloh: Yesh adlit tzrairis and Eino adlit tzrairis. Now there's two possible ways to learn. Guys, listen outside. There's a big wall on this over here. What is tzrairis? It's regel. Tzrairis is regel. Regel is urche, it's normal. Usually ha'ada mu'id is, it's not normal and you're making it normal. Good? Keren is mishuna, it's different. So you do it 3 times and then the chatzin nesek becomes nesek shaling. So when the Gemara has a shaila over here, yesha adlit tzrairis, doesn't mean the following. Is it speaking about where the animal went ahead, which is a told of Keren, and shot out a pebble and broke something. So it is a din of Keren, and you're paying chatzin nezek with the tzrairis. Would you go ahead and if it does that 3 times, would there be a din of nezek shalim? And that makes a little sense because after all, it is Keren. Or no, is the shaila a shaila of, since we find chatzin nezek by regel, despite the fact that it's urche, right? Then what? We'll do it 3 times. Rashi went with that pshat, but Rashi had a problem. He said he doesn't understand if it's urche. What's the difference between the first time and the 100th time? It should be what? Chatzin nezek. But again, so those are the 2 ways to learn. Okay, but bottom line is is it a tzrairis of Keren, then it's shaykh ha'ada, or even since it's chatzin nezek, despite the fact that it's regel and it's normal, it also shaykh ha'ada. Those machlekes Rashi and Taisus had to learn over here. We'll go with whatever works. Okay, says the Gemara. Gufa. By Rava, yesh adlit tzrairis ein ad. Is there a din of ha'ada for the action of tzrairis, which is the koichai of an animal? Again, tzrairis is the koichai of an animal. The Keren midamina lei. Do we compare it to Keren? And therefore, there's a chiyuv of chatzin nezek, and therefore you go ahead and 3 times to be nezek shalim. I dil matayda the regel who maybe it's a told of regel, and it can't be more than chatzin nezek. Once it's established as chatzin nezek, it stays chatzin nezek because it's urche, it's regel, it's normal. Again, the idea of mu'id is something that's not normal that becomes normal. Something that's normal does not become normal; it is normal. So therefore, if you have regel, if it's a told of regel, there should not be more than the halacha mashmisina of chatzin nezek, or no, since it's similar to regel to Keren, and 2 ways of learning similar to Keren simply because of chatzin nezek, or in fact it is speaking about a case of Keren that was mishuna where it kicked the pebble on purpose and broke. Okay, those are the 2 possibilities. Tashma, let's be pasha the shaila. Hidis, we said that when the chicken is doing its dance, ain't a mu'id, it's not a mu'id. Hidis al kedaitach. What does it mean? In other words, if it in its dance, if it directly hit the kli, is there anyone would say it's not a mu'id? That's regel. Again, it's jumping up and down. It directly hits the kli. It's not kolcho, guys. It's not kolcho. It's gufo. It's the goof of the regel. Why would anyone say ain't a mu'id? Clearly, it's a mu'id. You're right. Clearly, it's nezek shalim. So therefore, it must be elahidis v'hitis. It must be that if it's jumping v'hitis and it shot out a pebble. So it's a case of tzrairis. And one place says mu'id, one place says ain't a mu'id. My love could go in the other tilsa zimni. We'll suggest it was done 3 times. Masaba, the one who says mu'id, yesha ada. Umasaba ain't a mu'id, ain't a ada. So let's suggest that the machlokes, that the din of yesha ada l'tzrairis is in fact the machlokes tanoim. So we're suggesting that the chicken dancing shot out a pebble. It did it 3 times. Now is the one says mu'id, so therefore yesha ada l'tzrairis. The one says ain't a mu'id, ain't a ada l'tzrairis. Okay, that would be a way of being paishet the shaylas and machlokes. Says the Gemara, like b'chad zimna, it's 1 time. So once it's 1 time, it has no bearing on a shayla of yesha ada ain't a ada. Ube plukte the sumchas rabbanon k'miflgi, and the arguing in the machlokes sumcha and the rabbanon, sumchas holding its nezek shalem, and the rabbanon hold chatzin nezek. Again, the halacha mashvisinai sumchas. We don't know if he holds it or not. Exactly what he means. So that would be the shaila. Just derech agav, a very interesting machlokes I came across. based upon a Maritz Chias. Maritz Chias quotes the Rambam in Hilchos Mamrim, and the Rambam brings in his Hakdama to Pirush HaMishnayos. There's no machloikis in Halacha Moshe Sinai. And it makes sense. Halacha Moshe Sinai means there's a Messiah, right? Back from Moshe. It's Halacha Moshe Sinai. We have a Masorah tradition. So this can't be a machloikis. The question Paratzchia says, you have an open machloikis between Sumchis and the Chachamim regarding the din of Baruch Chatzinex and Tzroiris, whether it's halacha or not. Okay? Right. Again, so it's very, very interesting. Now,
because by Rabbi, they say, oh, when machloikis what the Rabbi said. But by halacha Moshe said, he said that the Messiah is all the way back. No one's questioning what the Messiah is.
Yeah, there's no machloikis. Now, so it's a good question. The answer is an unbelievable answer, suggested by the Brisker Rav. The Brisker Rav wrote a sefer on Yuma. Yuma is all a kachim. I'm doing in Kail now. That's what I'm doing. It's all kachim. You did Yuma. It's kachim. Primarily, it's with kabbanis. The last parak deals with Yom Kippur. Everything else deals with kabbanis. So we didn't do it. We've done it before certain people, but Bez Hashem, you'll do it. Tamura in the Gemara Tez Zion says when Moshe, before he died, he said to Yeshua, is there anything you want to go over or anything that you're unsure of? And Moshe said, I never left I never left you. So Moshe felt bad. As a result of Moshe feeling bad, there says that Chaluki Deis, how many halachas were forgotten? 300, 3,000, 1,700, they were forgotten. The Gemara says they were restored by a Asniel ben Kenaz. The first Shayfet, Asniel ben Kenaz restored them. Says the Brisker Rav, in one that we never lost the Messiah on, that was never forgotten. That ain't a chinami, there's no machlokes. That goes back to Moshe. But once, here's beautiful shot, guys. Once it was forgotten, right? And then it was restored by a Asniel, it didn't have the same Messiah. The Messiah had been broken when it was forgotten. Those ain't a chinami can sign. There was, says the Brisker Rav, that there was a. So it must be that this machlokes must be one of the ones that forgotten that was restored by a Asniel ben Kenaz. It's a beautiful pass for the Brisker Rav. Like he's my askama. Anyway, I just liked it very much. Says the Gemara. Tashma, being Paisha Ashayla, Behema she'tila galalim le'isa. Now Behema is going to the bathroom, and when it goes to the bathroom, it defecates on Isa. Now this is the chayre, this is tzroiris. It's not part of the animal, it's a koyach from the animal. So it's tzroiris. Rabbi Yehuda Aimer, Mishalem Nezek Shalem, Rabbi Elazar Chatzi Nezek. My lav kigoin. So Rabbi Yehuda says what? Rav Yehuda says Nezek Shalem, Rabbi Elazar says Chatzi Nezek. My lav kigoin the Ovid Tilsa Zimni, it was done 3 times. Ubahakamif. Masav Yesha Adad. Rabbi Yehuda says Yesha Adad if we pay Nezek Shalem. Umasaba and Rabbi Elazar says Eina Ada. Says Loi Bechadzim the one time. We looked at the Simchas Rabban and the same achlaikas. Kamifagi. Read the Gemara. V'hab mishunahu. L'chayra. How could you hold that what that you pay nezek shalem? It's mishuna. In other words, it's keren. In other words, it's not. Fellas, for an animal to go defecate dafka on a piece of dough, it's not tzroiris. It's mishuna. So how can the Mamba Amma hold that it's nezek shalem? Al sumchis, it's mishuna l'chayr, it's keren, and everyone holds keren, with the exception of Rav Karfin and Rishus HaNizik would hold what? Would hold Chatzi Nezek. So for the Gemara Kasha, it's mishuna to do this. So how can any man the Amma hold like sumchis that this is a din of tzroiris? L'chayr, it's mishuna. Says Gemara, is the dochak le alma. It's it's not mishuna. The dochak le alma. It was in a bad statement. It had to go. Fred Gemara, V'leim Reb Yehuda halacha kesumchus, V'leim Reb Elazar halacha kerabanan. So why? In other words, one says Chatzi Nezek, one says Nezek Shalem. These are Amoroyim. So now, if these Amoroyim are saying in Tanoim, why don't they say who they're going according to? Why did Rabbi Yehuda say Nezek Shalem? Say I hold like Sumchus. Why did Rabbi Elazar say Chatzi Nezek? Say with Rabbanan. These are Amoroyim. Why don't they say which Tanoim they hold like? Right? Says the Gemara, Golalim Mitzrich. The Chiddush is what? Is galalim, is defecating. I might think since it comes from the body, in other words, as opposed to what a pebble which is external, this once upon a time was part of the animal. So I might think kigufoy domi, and you should pay what nezek shalim. Kamash malon that what? No, it has a din of tzroiris. That's the chiddush of galalim. Says the Gemara, Toshma. the Tani Rami by Yecheskel, Tarnagol shahoshit roishoy la'avir kli zchuchis. A tarnagol, a chicken, it stuck its head into a glass kli.
So before you go on, can I just ask a quick question?
No.
Piece that they ask here, why don't they say, I hold like that Tanya? The Gemara always asks, Tanai. They say this machlekes is the same thing like Tanayim having the same machlekes. There you can ask the same questions.
May, you know the Montreal Alouettes won the Grey Cup?
No, I don't even know the score. Okay.
Neither do I.
Don't tell me.
Either do I, but that's the answer to the question you just asked now. Says the Gemara by the Toshma, the Tani Rami by Yecheskel. Okay, May, why did you? I'm sorry, May, why did you ask?
No, why the Gemara asks here? Why don't they? You want to say machlekes Rabbanan and Sumchus? Say yeah, I hold like Sumchus. The other one says I hold like the Rabbanan. The Gemara always asks Leimik Tanai. Why do they ask the same question? If it's machlekes, he's to say I hold like him.
May, there's no need to raise your voice. Okay, I'll answer you very succinctly. When you say Leima Kitanoi is where we ask a kasha on somebody, and he has no way out, and therefore we're asking him, you're an Amoira, you want to come out according to a Tana. So you have no way out. Leima Kitanoi, I found a Tana that you hold like. Over here, there's no question on these people. He holds what he holds what he holds, but the Amoroyim. But we find the Machloikas Amoroyim, Machloikas Tanoim, so let's say each one is holding like another one. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Okay.
You give me that Hungarian shekel. What does that mean, Mayor?
That doesn't mean anything. That's fine.
No, you understand. Lema Kitanoi is a way out of a difficult situation. This is Stamazoi. That apparently they're repeating a previous stated machlokes. So just say it. The Gemara says we wanted to tell you the case of Galolim because there's a chiddush in Galolim.
Okay, I hear you. Okay, I hear. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for whatever. And
For the Alouettes. But they don't tell him the score, he takes it.
Tashma. Tarnagol shahoshit roisher la'avid kli zchuchis. Tarnagol stuck his head into about a glass kli. V'taka boy, and it cockadoodle dood, right? The shibroi, and with its voice, the shalim, it broke it. Nezek shalim, you pay nezek shalim. Right. You pay nezek shalim. L'chayre, isn't that gufay? L'chayre, isn't it gufay? For Omar Rabbi Yosef, Omar Be Rav, sus shetzanaf, a sus that makes a horse noise, the chamor shenar, and a donkey that brays, the shibur es hakelim.
I'm going to Meir's house. I'll tell you.
The ferret knows what a ferret says.
Mishalim chatzi nezek. Now l'chayra, guys, l'chayra, guys, this is both swearers. Fellas, watch. The chicken making its noise and the other animals making the noise and breaking things through their voice is kocho. We've defined sroros as kocho, correct? Yet one says you're paying nezek shalem and one says you're paying chatzi nezek. Let's assume that what? That one had ha'ada and one didn't have ha'ada. We keep pashta shayla. My love could go into other tilsazim that you did it 3 times. Ubahakamifkli. Masaba yeshada. The one who holds the chicken holds yeshada. Umasaba, and the statement of the horse neighing and the donkey braying, right, is eina ada. Says no light. Bechad zimna. They did it 1 time. Ubeplukte the sumchus rabbana kamifluki. Fred the Gemara v'ham mishunahu. Now, which is mishuna? The case of what? Of the chicken, because that's the one he says nezek shalim. The horse, he said chatzi nezek. The chicken, he said nezek shalim. So you're telling me the chicken going ahead, sticking its head into a glass and making a chicken noise is what? Is going to be what? Sumchis? The same question, guys. It should be chatzi nezek al keren. Which chicken goes ahead and sticks its head into a glass and breaks the glass? Doesn't want this paper is right now. In the glass, there's seeds. So it's not mishuna for it to go ahead and stick its head in. Therefore, when it brays, not brays, it chickens, it makes that noise, and it's going to be nesek shalim according to Sumchus. Okay, that was the shiloh of Yesh Adlet Cyrus, Ein Adlet Cyrus. Another shiloh. Boy Ravashi. Yesh Shinu Litzroiris, L'Ravia Nezek, or Ein Shinu Litzroiris, L'Ravia Nezek. In other words, Sroiris is an animal walks along normally, it pays Chatzi Nezek. If you're Mishana in that, right, do you pay a quarter? Just like Keren, after 3 times is Nezek Shalem, and before that's Chatzi Nezek, perhaps, why? Because it's Mishuna, perhaps a Mishuna of a normal Sroirish would pay a quarter of the damage. Let's see Rashi, 4 lines down. Lirabanan the pligia sumchis v'amit Sroirish kiur chayo Chatzi Nezek. Heicha the shino behen, where you mishtana, you do something strange in the act of Sroirish kigoin. But to beragla, it kicked with its foot, which is a told of Keren. Umachmas be it heitizu Sroirish v'shibru kelim. Michoshev shinoi v'havi kitam u'mishalim revia nezek. Do adosin Chatzi Nezek. If you right hilkach tamosin revia nezek. In other words, if it did this 3 times, the chayr be Chatzi Nezek. The chayra, would you pay? Would there be a din of shinoi of what of? Would there be a din of what of a quarter? Says the Gemara. This doesn't make any sense. How can you have such a shaila, right? Tifshalemi the Rava. The boy Rava said the following: Yesha adlit sroiris or ein adlit sroiris. Mechlal de ein shinoi. Guys, outside. What's Rava shaila? I'm starting at a half, and I'm going to a full. There never was a shaila. I'm starting at a quarter. I'm going to a half. So we can ascertain from Rava shaila, if you're starting from a half and going to a whole, that there's no shina. There's no din of a quarter. There's no 3 payments. There's only 2 payments, right? There's a payment of Chatzi Nezek, and there's a payment of Nezek Sholem. What was Rava shaila? Can you go from a half to a whole? He never had a shaila. Can you go from a quarter to a half? So let's be patient. The shaila. There never was a quarter, right? It's very, very nice raya. Says the Gemara, you're right. Tilma Rava im tim Saloim kama. Maybe Rava is saying perhaps. Im tim Saloim, if you'll tell me, ain't shinoi, if you're going to tell me there is no quarter, then yesh ada ain't ada. In other words, one is contingent upon the other. If you're telling me it's not shaykh a quarter nezek, only a half, then I have a shaila, does that half go to a whole? But until you push that shaila of a quarter to a half, I'm not asking it. In other words, if there's a shaila of a quarter to a whole, then I'll ask you in yesh adlet service. So that question that Rava said is only predicated upon if there's no quarter. If the Barein Lachinaim is a quarter, he wouldn't have asked the shaila. And now we say teku. Wait for Tishbi to Yitaretz Kushas Abayis. Wait for Eliyahu Navi. Okay. What did Sumcha say, guys? What did Sumcha say? Sumcha says the Chatzi Nezek, it doesn't exist. It's Nezek Shalem. Good. What happens to the following case? I have my animal kicks something, it breaks a kli, and a piece of that kli breaks another kli. So you have a double sroiris. You have the first kli breaking, which is kocho, and the second kli breaking, which is koach kocho. Would Sumcha say that there's no halacha mashina bechlal, there's only din nezek shalem, or would he say there is a halacha mashina, but it's only on the koach kocho, not on the kocho? That's the Gemara Shaila. Says the Gemara, boy Ravashi, koach kocho the Sumchas kechocho dami olay. Mi gama halacha umukila b'koach kocho. Would he go ahead and learn halacha Moshe Misinai for koach kocha and bichatzi nezek? Or not? He doesn't learn it. Migam halacha umukla b'koach kocha. I don't know gam halacha klal. Says more teku the main shver. Okay, what did the Mishnah say, guys? Let's go back to the Mishnah for a second. The Mishnah is on Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. 3 lines down. You have to watch the lashon. Be careful of the lashon, guys. We're going to be working the lashon very much. That's why I'm going back to the Mishnah. If the animal was kicking, or there was tzroiros shooting out from underneath its feet, the shibru es kalim and breaks the kalim, mishalim chatzin esek. In both these cases, you're going to pay chatzin esek, but for 2 different reasons, fellas. Miva'etes kicking is a tolda of Keren, despite the fact it's being done with the foot, it's kavanas lahazik. So in other words, miva'etes, if it kicks and it kicks you, you're going to pay chatzin ezek. If it kicks a pebble and it shoots out, now does it kick the pebble or it's walking along? It's mashma, it's walking along. Or there were pebbles shooting out from underneath its feet. It's mashma as it's walking along. Now the shaila is, how exactly do you learn this case? is Miva'etes speaking in the case of Tsoiris or not? Let's see the Gemara Shaila. Back place. See Boilahu. Hachi Kama. Haisim Miva'etes. It was kicking. Ve'ezikoi biviuta. And that's a tolda of Keren. It went ahead and it did damage with its kicking. Oi, Tsoiris Kurchayu. Or it was walking along normally and the Tsoiris shut out. Mishalim Chatzi Nezek. Rabbanan he, and it's the Rabbanan who holds Tsoiris Peis Chatzi Nezek. Guys, right? That's classic case. Sumchis would disagree with this case, correct? Sumchis would say, in the second latter case, the latter clause you pay, Nezek Shalim. Dilma, or perhaps, that's the same as the Resha, Karen. Or it's Tsoiris that comes as a result of the Biyut. Now, what's that, guys? That's Karen. Then Mishalm Chatzi Nezek, Mashmaha ki urche, if it wasn't a shinoi, but it was normally walking, Mishalm Nezek Shalem, Umani Sumchasi. So in other words, who's the Tan of our Mishnah? Guys, look at me. We have two clauses. Hoisim Etes, that's the first clause. Everyone agrees that's Chatzi Nezek because of Karen. Now, then it says, Oisha Hoisa, Sroirois, Mintazim Tachas Ragleha. That's a regular case of Tsoiris in Regel, Chatzi Nezek, like the Rabbanan. Or no. This clause and this clause are shtickle connected. Either it was kicking Keren, or it was kicking Keren and things shut out. Right? You pay Chatzi Nezek. Why? Because it's Keren. What happens if it was normal? If it was Regel and not Keren, you pay Nezek Shalem. Then who's that? That's Sumchis. So the question is, how do we infer the second case to ascertain who the Tan of our Mishnah is? Do we say it stays within the realm of Regel? And then it's totally what you're going to pay Chatzi Nezek for Keren in the first case and Regel in the second case, or no, it's all a case of Keren, right? It's a Keren in the first case, Keren in the second case, and that's why it's Chatzi Nezek. But if it was Regel in the second case, you pay Nezek Shalem because Tzoris pays Nezek Shalem, and then it's Sumchus. That's the Gemara Shaila. Let's be posher the Shaila. Toshmame Seifa. What does the Seifa of our Mishnah say? Darsa ala kli, the animal goes ahead and stomps down on a kli, v'shibartoi, and it breaks the kli. V'nafal hashev ra kli acher, and now that piece is falling. This is the case I just gave you before. This is koyach koyach, and now it falls on another kli. So this is koyach koyach. You have two kalim breaking. One breaks directly as a result of the animal, and then a shard shoots out and breaks something else. Ala rishon mishalim nezek shalem. That's regel. V'ala achrin chatzi nezek. And the first and the second one you can pay chatzi nezek. Al sroiris. So again, the animal in the havamina guys, the animal is stamping on a kli as it walks along. Pays chatzi nezek. It's what? Excuse me. It pays nezek shalem. It's regel. A piece of that shoots out and breaks a kli. Sroiris chatzi nezek. So obviously it can't be sumchis because sumchis would say nezek shalem on that kli. So if he's sumchis. If there's sumchus, that can be chatzi nezek. So let's go ahead and ascertain from the seif of the Mishnah that the Reisha must be speaking in a case of regular tzreiris of chatzi nezek, and the halakha is like the chachamim. The chitema, what are you going to say? That there's koyach koychay, guys. In other words, how do we explain the case? Look at me. The animal stepped on a kli, 1, shut out, 2. There's another way to explain it. The animal stepped on a kli. That shut out hit Kli 1, that Kli hit Kli 2. So in other words, there's 3 things. There's 1, 2. So there's Kocho and Kocho. So there's 2 tzreiris. That's what the Gemara is to suggest now. A little different than the first case. Again, the first case, it's the regel that broke it. Over here, it's the Kli, the koyach of the Kli breaking twice. 1 Kli and then the second Kli. Says the Gemara, the chitema, if you're going to say the following. I lost the place. 1 second. The chitema rishon is rishon la'ataza is the first one that breaks as a result of the shooting. V'sheni is sheni la'ataza. Kli number 2. V'shani leila sumchis ben koychay l'koyach koychay. So he makes a difference. That is a difference. Koyach koychay. Therefore, you're going to pay what? Chatzi nezek. Elahod the boy Ravashi koyach koychay l'sumchis koychay dami. Right? Let's be poished that it's lavka koichi dami because you're paying chatzi nezek. Guys, look at the Mishnah. Let's go back to the Mishnah. I'm going to stick this pshat in the Mishnah. Yud Zayin Amar Aleph. Haisamer etes. The animal stamped regel on a kli. Or there was tsoiris shooting out from its feet. The fact that you're paying chatzi nezek on the second kli must be that it's according to what the chachamim and not sumchus. Good. Says the Gemara. No, I'll tell you a different shot. It was kicking, which is keren. Or when it was kicking, as a result of the kicking, there were pebbles shooting out. So if that's the case, then what? It's also keren. You're going to pay what? Chatzi nezek. If it was regel, you pay nezek shalem. What's the din? Darsa ala kli. If the animal stepped on a kli, which is regel, vishibarto, and it breaks the kli, v'nafla kli, and now it falls on another kli, vishibroi, and it breaks the first kli. Ala rishon mishalim nezek shalem al regel. So you have a raya that it must be the chachamim. No, I'm going to tell you a different case. Let's go through it again. Darsa al kli v'shibartoi, v'nafal al kli v'shibroi, and now it fell on a second kli. In other words, you smashed down on the first kli. It went out. It hit a first. It went out. It hit a first kli and a second kli. So on the first one, you're going to pay nezek shalem because it's tsoiris according to sumchus, and the second one you can pay chatzi nezek because it's koyach koyach. Right. So I can learn that in the Mishnah. Correct. Good. Guys, you're ever learning. The nezek shalem is the first tsoiris, the first kli. The second kli is koyach koyach, and therefore it's chatzi nezek, and therefore sumchus could be the town of our Mishnah. So now back by us. Let's see why this doesn't work. Guys, you with me so far? Again, it's cheshbon. Says the Gemara. Now, why doesn't this work? Says the Gemara. Elaha, parallel to the places b'makam, one line down. Elaha de boy Ravashi. Kaya koichi lesumkis kekoichi dami or lav kekoichi dami. Is it kekoichi you're going to pay nezek shalem or lav kekoichi you pay chatzi nezek? If that pshat is correct that we just learned in the Mishnah, and on the second kli you're going to pay chatzi nezek, we have a raya that sumchus holds koyach is lav kekoichi dami because you're paying chatzi nezek. So why do you ask the shaila then? L'chayr, if that's pshat in the Mishnah, Ravashi had his answer. Says the Gemara, Ravashi krabana mukila. Ravashi says our Mishnah is speaking like the Chachamim. Partial case. There's one case of keren, neve'etes, second case chasek regel. Uboy lahachi, ha'isem neve'etes, ve'ezika bibiutai. Ha'yitzrayis kurchayu. First case keren, second case regel, chatzi nezek. Ha'machmis biuta. But what happens if it would be machmas biyuta? Revia nezek v'yeshinoi. I dilma ha'isem neve'etes, ve'ezika bibiutai. Ha'yitzrayis machmas biyuta. Chatzi nezek ve'yeshinoi teko. In other words, he learned in the Chachamim, and therefore we had the shaila of yeshinoi and or ein shinoi. Guys, watch the shinoi. Guys, here, watch. Guys, look at me. Two ways to learn the Mishnah. First way, classic, right? Mamish kicks it. Chatzi nezek, keren. Shoots out, breaks, chatzi nezek, tsoiris. That's the way Rashi learned the Mishnah. No shaila. What happens if the following? It stamped on it, right? That's one thing. Now, let's say it was kicking. With kavon, it was kicking, and the pebbles were shooting out. Now it's not regular anymore. Once it's bikavana, it's keren. And what's the shaila? When it runs out and it does it, is there a quarter nezek or not? For regular regel, this chatzi nezek. For regular keren, this chatzi nezek. Im yesh shinoi litzvayris, then you're going to pay what? Do you pay a quarter or not? So in other words, he's reworking. This is how his shaila evolved in the beginning. But therefore, you can't bring a raya from Rav Ashi asking on Sumchis, because Rav Ashi did not learn Sumchis in the Mishnah. Had he learned Sumchis in the Mishnah, he went to ask the shaila, because you would have been pushing because he's paying chatzi nezek. Elamat, he didn't learn the shaila. Okay, guys, listen, it's one after the other. It's just knowing a Mishnah and plowing ahead. Boy, minei Rav Abba, more shailas. Boy, minei Rav Abba, ma ma'amal mervami. V'imi lo merav chia barabba. Hoysem aleches b'mokam shi efshala. Elim kain mintaza ubata v'tiza v'zika mahu. this animal is walking along a very, very narrow path. It's not possible to avoid doing damage, and it's kicking as it goes out. Keeping the yevshula orchehu, is it regular and it's what? It's nezek shalem. Ideal mahashtemiyah machmas biyot kamenas. It's coming because he's kicking and swiris, and it's only chasi nezek teku. That's what we wanted to know. The animal's walking in Rishus Harabim. What do we know about regel? Regel's part of Rishus Harabim. The tiza ve'zika, and it does damage. It shoots out and does damage in Rishus Harabim. Mahu lekerem midamina law v'chayeves. Ideal mala told the regel u petura. Amalei. So Rav Rizera told Rav Yirmiyah. Mistaba told the regel who? Okay. So that's if it shoots out in Rishus Harabim and it damages in Rishus Harabim. What about this case? Hetiza b'Rishus Harabim ve'zika b'Rishus Hayachid. So where the animal started, guys, if you go after the Basam Eikara, you're going to be Pata, right? Because the Mazik started in Rishus Harabim. Again, it's in Rishus Harabim and it's walking and it shoots out a pebble in Rishus Harabim. Where does it land? It lands in a person's Rishus and bakes Kalim in Rishus Hayachid. So if you go after the place where the Mazik started, you're Potter. If you go after the place the Mazik occurred, then you'd be Chayiv because it would be Ubir B'Steyacher. It would be what? B'Steyacher. So Mahu. So that's what Rav Yirmiyah asked Rav Zera. So Amalei, he told him, Akira ein kan, Hanacha yesh kan. Linyan Shabbos, guys, right? To be Chayiv Vaitzah, you need an Akira and an Anacha. You need to pick up something and put it down. If you have one without the other, you Potter. So over here, where would this shooting take place from? Rishus Harabim. So did you have an Akira? Meaning, did you have a Chiyuv? No. So in the end, you ended up putting in the other Rishus. It ended up Machnash. Okay, he's going to change his mind from this, by the way. He's going to change his mind. Right now, we're holding, guys, from Rishus Harabim to Rishus Hayachid, you are what Potter. Esevei, they asked, he's walking on the way, they tiza, and it shoots at pebbles. It doesn't make a difference whether it's Rishus Hayachid or Rishus Harabim chayiv. My love, tiza b'Rishus Harabim, ve'zika b'Rishus Harabim, that it took place both in Rishus Harabim, nonetheless, what Yechayiv. And we said above that you would be Potter because it's regel. He said it's regel, right? Rabbi said it's regel. Here you say it's mashma, it's not regel. Like hetiza b'Rishus Harabim, ve'zika b'Rishus Hayachid. No. I don't understand. You just told me. Doesn't make a difference because you go after the place of Akira. So Amalei, so Rabbi Seir told him, Hadrabi, I changed my mind. Yeah, people can change their mind. He said, I changed my mind, Linyan Ezekin. I changed my mind, and therefore what? Even though that Akira took place in Rishus Hayachid, in Rishus Harabim, nonetheless what? You would be Chayav. Hadrabi, I changed my mind. Esivei Rabbi Yemi Yes Rabbi Zeira, Darsa ala Kli. If he stepped on a Kli, right? He stepped on a Kli. Vishibartoi, and he broke the Kli. V'nafal shever al Kli acher. V'shibru ala Rishon mishalim nesek shalem like it's regel. V'ala achrem mishalim chatzi nesek like tzvayris. V'tani Allah b'medav mamurim when you have a chiyuv on the kalim that's b'shus nizik. Al b'shus Harabim ala Kli petura. V'ala achrem chayeves. On the Kli you're going to be plata because it's regel b'shus Harabim. But on the second Kli you're going to be what? You're going to be chayev. Like Karen. You told me that what you plata kasha. My love. Rishus Harabim and Zika Rishus Harabim, and you told me your potter, it's regel. You see a chayiv on the kli because it's Karen. So Rabbi Zerian said, "Loi, it's not speaking that you did it. Same teretz. It's not speaking that you were in Rishus Harabim and you did damage to Rishus Harabim. It's speaking where Hetiza Rishus Harabim and Zika Rishus Hayachid. Fred the Gemara of Amin Akira Enkan Nachyeshkan. Didn't you tell me that you didn't have Akira? Therefore you should be potter. Amalei Zeri told him Hadri I changed my mind. Okay. Inni is it really show guys? Now, according to Rabbi Seir, it's Sroiris and Rishus Harabim Yipata. Right? In other words, guys, Sroiris, that's what we're saying. Rishus Harabim, regel is Pata, right? You're saying Sroiris is regular Pata. Is it really so that you Pata on Sroiris? Rabbi Yochanan said, there's no Ein Chatzi Nezek, there's no din of Chatzi Nezek, Cholok, Loy Rishus Hayachid, Loy Rishus Harabim. In other words, the Hezek, that we're going to see this on Chavav Bez Hashem. The hezek, the din of paying chatzin hezek like Karen, like Tzvayris, Yechayev bein b'Rishus Harabim, bein b'Rishus Hayachid. In other words, we Yechayev for Karen Yechayev. Yechayev for regular Yechayev. So the Chayev should be Chayev what in, just like Yechayev regel bein b'Rishus Harabim, Karen b'Rishus Harabim, b'Rishus Hayachid chatzin hezek. So to the chatzin hezek at Tzvayris should be Chayev b'Rishus Harabim also. Guys, listen again one more time. Chatzin hezek's unique. There's no difference. But like Rabbi. Loit the Chacham. There's no difference whether the Karen took place in Rishus Harabim or Rishus Hayachid. You're going to be chayiv Chatzi Nezek. So if that's the case, the Chatzi Nezek of Regel also should be chayiv in Rishus Harabim. Yet you said Rabbi Seira, it's not. There shouldn't be a chilik din. Says the Gemara, my love is not speaking. Hetiza b'Rishus Harabim ve'Zika b'Rishus Harabim. Loi hetiza b'Rishus Harabim ve'Zika b'Rishus Hayachid. I v'amin akira ein kana nacha yesh kana olay hajabi. Iba is saying Makiyam Rabbi Yachin are not Karen. When did he say this din? There's no difference by the Chatzi Nezek of Rishuyos, that's by Karen. But by Regel, Einachinami, there is a Regel is a difference. In Soiris Rishus Harabim, you will be Pata, Soiris Rishus Hayachid, you will be Chayav. Yosef Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya. Again, I always say who's Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya? It wasn't Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, it was his grandson, right? Remember, you make that mistake. Rabbi Gamliel was his son, and Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was the son of Rabbi Gamliel. So he was Rebbe's grandson. So Yosef Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya of Rabbi Shaya, Akila, the Rabbi Yehuda. They were sitting by Akila, some type of opening, some type of porch of Rabbi Yehuda, and Nafik Milsa Mevinayu, and the halacha, following halacha came out. Kish Kisha Biznavav. The animal is walking along, and if it's wagging its tail, it's swishing back and forth. It gets some kalim knocked on it and knocks it down. Amalei idach, right? Is he supposed to go ahead and hold it, right, and make it go straight? So obviously, what it's orchei, right? L'chari shouldn't be chay. L'chari it's an honest. L'chari it's an honest. Look at Rashi. Kishcha b'snava orchu is a normal upatim shusarab malai. In other words, guys, what would the chiyuv be? Walking along, knocking with its tail, guys. What is it? Regel, guys. Regel, right? So regel b'shusarabim pata, right? So he asked him, "Is it not orchei and should be karen?" So he said to him, "What do you mean?" He said, "Is he supposed to hold the tail straight and not stop it from wagging?" Obviously, what? It is orchei, right? Obviously, it is orchei. The chiyuv b'snav v'yelech says in Hachi b'keren nami nema b'chiyuv b'keren v'yelech. So hachi hashta by keren lav orcha. It's not that. It's not normal for it to do damage, right? It's becheska shima kaimi we said on Daf Tesvav, and therefore you're chay when it does do damage. But by the tail orchei, it's normal, and therefore you're going to be pata because it's regular and shusarabim. Freddy Mar v'chimiacha the orchei. What was the kasha? If it's so normal, what was his question? It says, if he did two more than normal, Shaila was he overdid it. In other words, it's overwagged, right? It's waggy. It's like it's beyond. It's not beyond the norm. So since it's been out the norm, maybe. What? Yeah. I don't remember going to the country. It's been so. It's been so many years. I don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember station wagons anymore.
I do remember station wagons. I had more than one. I had two. Huh? The wood on the side, that's you dating yourself. That you're dating yourself. The Grand Cherokee with the wood on the side.
Grandma. It was a country squire. No, the country squire.
There was a Grand Cherokee with the wood on the side. Jackie Silvera had one. Yes, there was. I still remember that. Yeah. Oh gosh, those cars they weighed 5,000 pounds.
Couldn't drive.
But gas was $1.20 a gallon. 70 a gallon. It's like driving a couch, right?
You put it to drive and you're going 20 miles an hour without touching the gas.
We're having this nostalgic moment. I apologize. Let's go back. Okay. Right. Oh, you're not so young, uncle. You think that's carbureted.
Get old cars.
They haven't been carbureted in cars for years. They're all fuel injected. There's no carburetors. Okay, anyway. Boy. Okay, boy Rav Eina. Kish Shaba Amasa. The animal is wagging its it's wagging its male organ. Mahu. Miyamin Midida Have a Keren. It's like Keren Lab Yitzra. Like the Yetzirah takes place of the animal, so Katakafle took hold of it, Hachanami, Loishna, and you should be Chayv as Keren. Idilma Keren Kavanas Lahazik, and Kavanas Lahazik, and therefore it should be Regel. The Gemara answers what? Teku. Okay, the next thing is the Mishnah. Let's go back to the Mishnah. we finished Soiris. We think we finished Soiris, but go back to the Mishnah, the last end of the Mishnah, guys. Yitzayin Amen Aleph. Tarnagolim mu'adam lahalich kedakim l'shaber. A tarnagol, it's normal for it to go along and regel. Hoyedalil kosher b'raglav. If it had a pail tied to its foot, or it was jumping, umisharbes akelim, mishalim chatzinezek. So what exactly is this kosher b'raglav? It's mashma that this din of dalil yichayev chatzinezek, correct? So let's figure out, who does this dalil belong to? Who does it belong to? What exactly is the case of this dalil or dali, this bucket attached to a string attached to the chicken? Says the Gemara. So that's what we're gonna finish up now. Says the Gemara. Says Rav Huna. Okay, Amar Rav Huna says Rav Huna. Loi shanu. We did not learn that chayv chatzinezek on the damage of the dalil. Ella kishen me'elav, that it got tied by itself, that the chicken jumped and it by itself got entangled with the string, and Melid had the lead there. Aval im koshru adam, if a person tied it to it, then chayiv. Now, what would the chayiv be? Look at Rashi, guys, very interesting. Niksha me'elav b'tarnagol v'niskel boy adam. So what? And the person trips on it. So we're talking about the avav bar. Guys, right? In the middle, you hear from Rashi, where the guy tripped on the dali. So in other words, the chicken made a bar. The chicken made a bar. So if, guys, listen to the labor of Huna's learning. If the chicken by itself went ahead, took this string, went out into Rishus Harabim with this bucket, someone tripped on the bucket, no one's chayav. If, however, a person tied the bucket to the chicken, then the person who made the bucket is the balabar, and he's chayav. That's what the Gemara is suggesting right now. Okay? So one more time. It says, says the Gemara, Loishonu, that you're chayav chatzi nezek. You're supposed to ask me, guys, I didn't know chatzi nezek by a bar. Okay, anyway. So Ela kishenik shemei elav. Aval koshu adam, and another person goes, then the other person's chayiv whilst making a bar mishus harabim.
It's stuck by itself. Is that a bar?
What?
You just said that?
No, it is a bar, but it's a bar that's made by a chicken. Right. Either way, what's happening is someone's tripping over this bucket. How did that bucket get there? Did the bucket got there by the chicken? But was there an owner on the bucket or not? Right? Was the owner on the bucket or not? So now the Gemara wants to say the following: Nik shmei elav man chayiv. Now, if it got stuck on there, the Niksha Dali, you said you chayiv, chatzi nezek, right? Who's chayiv? Ilay mebala dalil. If you're going to tell me it's the owner of the chicken, hechidami. Ida atzniya. If he went ahead and hid the bucket, anasu, he's an honest, he should be potter. V'ilay atzniya, and if you didn't hide the chicken, paishehu, and he should be chayiv nezek shalem, like a din of a person who dug a bar and shusarabim, right? Ella must be chayiv balatarnagol. It must be you want to go get the balatarnagol. Now, in other words, if the chicken got stuck by himself, right? 1 second. Meaning it went into somebody's rishus. We're obviously saying that the owner of the chicken and the owner of the bucket are two different people. The bucket got stuck to the chicken, right? And then you're going to say, right, loy shanu, that you chayiv, that someone's potter, or you potter from Nezek Shalem, is if it got stuck by itself. But if someone tied it, then you chayiv Nezek Shalem. Good. Now, how did it get tied to it? Obviously, it must have been either available or not available. If it was available, then he was Pesheya, the Baal Dalil, by leaving it out where a place where a chicken can get it, and he should pay Nezek Shalem as bar. And if it wasn't available, he hid it away in a shed, and the chicken miraculously broke in, then it should be potter completely. So where is this? No, Mandashach, I don't understand this chi of Chatzi Nezek. I think
I put the bucket outside, but the chicken had to get out of the house.
Again, I have to watch my property, right? Did I watch it correctly or not? If I didn't watch it correctly, okay.
I don't watch my chicken by letting it get out.
Okay, again, he's chayiv. There's two chiyuvim over here, right?
The bucket guy and the chicken guy.
Okay, right. So there's the Gemara now. Elachaya balatarnago. Maishno kuli nesek delay. Why not? Ichsiv v'chiyiftach yishbar kiyich yishbar. Who digs the bar? Right? Ish bar v'loy shar bar. Right? In other words, you can't have an animal making a bar. You can't have an animal making a bar. V'loy shar bar. So therefore, chatzi nezek nami ish bar v'loy shar bar. So where is what? Guys, I don't understand this clear. In the Havmin of the Gemara, we had two chiyuvim. We had the chiyuv of the chicken as regel, and then we had the chiyuv of a bar. On the first one, you're going to pay what? You're going to be chayiv, and the second one you're going to pay chatzi nezek. I understand why you chayiv nezek shalei mitzregel b'shus hanizek. Why am I chayiv chatzi nezek as bar? Mehechet teisa you chayiv chatzi nezek al bar. It doesn't. Thank the shon. It doesn't make any sense. No, there's no chiyuv chatzi nezek by bar. There is none. And in fact, it should be parted completely because this. Why do you want to time that? You want to time that no one's chayiv for a chicken digging a bar. It says that about kiyiftach ishbar v'lei shar bar. So chatzi nezek nami ishbar v'lei shar bo. Ella, we're changing gears, guys. Forget the chiyuv of what? Of bar. The chiyuv is ba'adaye aduye. It's a case of tsoiris. He took the bucket and he flung the bucket. What's that called? That's called tsoiris. That's called koyach, right? So it's speaking about adaye aduye. We threw it. The chiyuv mad Rav Huna, and where did you learn Rav Huna's din? The schilik ben me'elav and not me'elav. In other words, the following. Once the chiyuv is on the owner of the chicken, the chiyuv is on the owner of the chicken, right? He went ahead. The chicken took the kli and threw the kli. Kayach of the chicken, tzreiris chayav. So where did Rav Huna say is din the schilik between whether it gets stuck by itself or not stuck by itself? It doesn't make a difference, right? So that's what the Gemara asks right now. Says the Gemara of Chiyuv mad Rav Huna ba'al neitmar. You didn't learn it on this case. You learned in general. The little hefker. If you have a bucket of hefker, of Rav Huna. Nikshemei elav pater, kashu adam chayiv, mishamai chayiv, Rav Huna bar Manoach misham boira yemiskalgo bragla and bragla behema. We had fellas, we had on Daf Vav, right? On Daf Vav, we had a few cases of what the tzad shava of a Mishnah came to include. Abna sakina masoy shanichel reishkagoy, poiskin bebu seir and go from Erosayim. You open up your sewer system in the winter and the summer. And one of the cases was a case of that above was bar and miskalgo bragli adam baglahema. If you were mafgrid, being the Rabbi, being the Shmuel, it's bar, right? If you were mafgrid, what I heard. So this tzara shava of bar miskalgo is going to be me in this case. If a person went ahead and tied something to a chicken, and the chicken brought it out to the rabbin, so it's bar miskalgo bragli adam bragli behema. That's where he said his case. If no one, it was a hefker and no one. No problem. If he tied it, he becomes the Bala Bar and Chayiv to the Tzara Shava. But in Achinami, our Mishnah has nothing to do with Bar. The Chiyuv Tsoiris, which would explain why it's our Mishnah in the first place.